But how do you see, where is the support within the Christian community at large at this moment in time in this country, not just for Israel, because it's about Judeo-Christian values, but where are they in this?
So we're very fortunate. I mean, there's good news and bad news. Let's start with the good news. We're very fortunate in that our small Jewish community of 6 million or less, mostly Democrats, mostly on the coasts, is not the only base of support for Israel in our country. That is too few people, too thin a reed upon which to base support for Israel. You know, we've been very lucky that support for Israel is much broader and deeper than that. And the fact is there are millions of evangelical Christians who support Israel in a very deep and very personal way. And they support Israel for reasons that are very similar to the reasons why an Orthodox Jew would support Israel. I mean, it starts with their faith. It starts with the way they read the Bible. But it really doesn't end there. You know, these are people who understand the tragedy of Jewish history. They understand what the world, and oftentimes, you know, in the name of their own faith, was done to Jews by people they would argue are not true Christians. They understand the need for a Jewish state. And then these are people who understand the history of Israel in a way that most people don't anymore. And I would go further than that. I would argue, you know, lots of people, and you see the conspiracy theories on the right now. AIPAC is buying all of our politicians. It's only because of Jewish money that we're pro-Israel. That is such nonsense. And anyone who's spent time in Washington understands how much this is nonsense. The answer is, of course, that it's not just Jews, but it's also not just evangelical Christians. There is, I think, in most Americans, going back now since the founding, you know, since the founding fathers, and we can quote John Adams and his sympathy for the idea of a Jewish state, you know, over a century before Theodore Herzl, you know, was even a